Almost. Okay, I declare the Tuesday, February 18th meeting of the Planning and Zoning Board open. Do you want a roll call to determine a quorum? Okay, if you would say your name.
Kim Sandoval.
Meg Fielding.
Jennifer Marr.
David Patagimis.
Okay, as it has been determined, a quorum is present. The first order of business is the approval of the minutes of the January 21st meeting.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
I don't, any noes? No. Okay, that motion carries. Do we have any old business? Okay, then we'll move on to new business.
It's live.
At least you're not blowing into it.
Thank you. This is for, let me get my device here. This is for the Pine Creek at Seacrest Shortcut zoning map amendment. It's ZM 2024-0108. The request for the subject property, it's one parcel, it's 2.9 acres, and it's just catty-corner from Southwind Trail Drive, which is the Arbor Glen subdivision. And it's on the east side of Seacrest Shortcut Road. The current zoning is conditional zoning, single-family high density, CZ SF5, and that was only linked to Bonterra development. More to come. The requested zoning is light industrial with no conditions, which is a conventional zoning map amendment. No plans, no conditions. The intent is to rezone the parcel so that they can market it as light industrial for real estate purposes. The applicant is the Pine Creek Land Company, LLC, and Lisa Ammons is the contact. They are not here tonight. So, the surrounding area of the subject property, you can see on the east side is Bonterra and Northgate subdivision. On the north side is the current development that's under review for Northgate Industrial Park, and that's adjacent to the property, just north of it. Of course, to the west is Arbor Glen subdivision, like I said, catty corner, but directly on the west side is Union County R20, this large vacant lot. That's just to the left of it. This is showing the kind of the perspective overhead view that's in the packet, showing that Northgate Industrial Park area that runs to the north of it, and the properties across the expressway, and Arbor Glen subdivision to the west. This is a good image to show what I'll be talking about, where this parcel used to be part of Bonterra. If you take the expressway out, I'm pointing on the screen here, but there was a parcel that was here that was starting construction with Bonterra, and there was supposed to be development all in here, high-density residential with some commercial that was down through this area, mixed-use commercial. And they even got to where I think they constructed the entrance, and there's a sidewalk, the old sidewalk here along Seacrest. And then they said, oh, we're designing NCDOT's putting an expressway here. And so that's what sliced this parcel off. And for the last several years, this parcel has been land hooked to the Bonterra parcel, and they're disconnecting it now so they can market it off. It's no longer being developed as Bonterra. This is an image of the property looking north up Seacrest with the subject property on the right. This is looking the other direction, looking south with the property on the left. You see the old sidewalk there that's just looking sad. And then looking straight into the property with the expressway to the rear. And you can see a few of the homes, probably Northgate across the highway there. So this is a current zoning map, and it shows that the majority is zoned as, single-family low density, but much of it is, there's quite a bit around the immediate property on a couple of the sides that's not even developed yet on that side of the expressway as residential. Like I mentioned, it was formerly part of Bonterra, and it has that zoning on it. So anything anybody does, they would have to rezone it no matter what. Let's see here. Of course, I mentioned it was adjacent to Northgate Industrial Park. That's going through construction site plan review. And that industrial park, as well as light industrial through this corridor, is in line with the Seacrest Shortcut Road small area plan.
So, quick question.
Sure.
Looking at the red box there, and if you come down a little bit, there's some more property. Is that owned by somebody else?
Yes, only the only property owner for Pine Creek, the only property is the one in red,
Okay.
other than what's across the expressway. Across the expressway, if I point with my pointer here,
Is all the Bonterra group?
it's this one property it's weird shape. It's like this. This is all floodplain.
Okay.
And so we get a lot of inquiries about this area, which is probably going to be some type of residential, possibly in the future. But that's the only piece. That's this Pine Creek LLC is what you see in red there for this case.
Okay, it just looks like what's left there is not going to be big enough to do anything with.
This 2.9 acres,
Is it really? Okay.
yeah. Yeah, we've had some inquiries so far from some small, some small, maybe flex space folks, or, some light industrial minor uses there. You
So
can't
right now
you can't
it's
do a lot.
residential. It would have to be rezoned in order to be able to.
Well, right now it's zoned for Bonterra,
Okay.
and so it has to become something other than what it is.
Okay.
Tim, the remaining piece is 2.9, or the parcel in red in question is 2.9?
The parcel that is on its own now, a parcel by itself, is just the
not part of
red
the red.
you see there.
Okay.
They separated it. It had a land hook on it, which is a plat talk for linking properties across, like roadways, rivers, things like that. And they removed the land hook, and it received its own separate parcel number, and it no longer has the same parcel number as its parent parcel.
Thank you.
Absolutely. For future zoning, the future zoning in the comprehensive plan was matched up to what was in the small area plan. And the small area plan was a joint study between the town and Union County. And I assume it took place the time where the expressway was being designed, and they wanted to come up with a property that acted not only as a break between the housing to the west of Seacrest, but to kind of buffer from the expressway, because you wouldn't want to use this industrial strip here as housing. You wouldn't want to push housing right up to the expressway. And with the slightly, higher intensity, it's not heavy industrial, but by letting it also have some light industrial uses, that comes from the influence of a new expressway with the outlook of marketing this strip through here when they did the small area plan. And that's where it all came from. This employment center could be offices, could be light industrial, and things like that. And let's see, light industrial is consistent with the comprehensive plan in partnership with the small area plan. So in summary, the requested zoning designation is light industrial. The intent is to market the property as light industrial. The request complements the adjacent light industrial zoning and is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the Seacrest Shortcut Small Area Plan recommendations. You have the handout from my conversation with Kim this morning, who had a good question about compatibility with land uses. And I just gave some of that background I just mentioned with Seacrest Shortcut. And in that report, it talks about buffering that long strip between much of the land use to the west and then on the east side of Seacrest Shortcut up to the expressway.
Okay.
So consistency findings, staff are of the determination that the request is consistent with the comprehensive plan. The request is consistent, reasonable, and in the public interest as it promotes land use and housing goal number 4 and economic development goal number 1. The land use and housing goal, coordinating land use and transportation planning to create a sustainable community. Economic development goal, create a more balanced tax base by promoting the development of office parks, businesses, retail centers, and industrial parks. So I can take any questions you may have, or if you want to make a motion.
Any questions from the board? I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to recommend approval of the zoning map amendment case request CM 2024-0108, Pine Creek at Seacrest Shortcut Road, as presented by staff.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? None? No, it's unanimously carried.
Thank you, board members. And let me go back to the original agenda.
I guess I should have asked about public comment before we actually voted. Were there any public comments about this?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a period of public comment that was added in general, but we're not really a formal hearing. But we would take, if anybody
Being as
signed
there's no
up.
public here.
Yeah,
Just for the record, there's no public comments.
Okay, is there any other business that we have to do today? Then I declare